What's up, Charles?
More of the same.
Is that you kicking a mullet back there? What you got?
Kicking a mullet?
No, your hair's getting long in the back.
Yeah, that's my COVID. That's my COVID haircut here. I've resisted risking my life by going to the barber for, during COVID. So we're just going to keep seeing a lot more and more of that stuff.
Yeah, the mullet's making a comeback. A little business up front, party in the back. Let's go.
Well,
no, it's not.
I don't know. Charles is rocking it already. Look at that. Yeah, I'm doing it with the beard. I'm short on top, long on the bottom. What's up, Carol? You're muted, but you know. Ed's somewhere in Hawaii right now. I'm digging that.
Right.
Okay.
Where was that photo taken, Ed?
I think it was taken in South Carolina. It was either South Carolina or Galveston.
Okay. Gotcha.
It's a pretty wide range. Earth or Mars.
Well, I got up in both places, before dawn to take pictures. So I just don't remember which one this is.
It was in a really pretty place or a place that has oil spills.
Did you get stung by a jellyfish?
Yeah.
No, but my niece did.
Ugh.
South
Galveston.
Carolina.
Yeah. What's up, Nick?
Hey there, how you doing?
Oh, finer than frog hair and twice as fuzzy. I see Sabrina. Hey, Sabrina. There you are. My screen keeps. Hey,
Hi.
Sabrina, did you get my email today?
Did I'm so excited.
Good. Making sure. Yeah, well, fun. It'll be good. Well, I'm gonna play with some weird lighting and flowers. That's what I'm gonna do. Because why not? Anybody can take a natural light flower photo, but only crazy people are gonna hike around with 3 lights and a flower stand and try to overpower the sun with battery-powered speed lights. It'll be fun. What's up, Steven? I know that photo.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, another day. You're twice. I have your name here, and then I have your video there. Doing a little razzle dazzle.
I don't know what's.
Yeah, it's all right. I never do. So welcome to the club.
Split personality.
Yeah. That's good. I like that one. I feel that one. Let's see if I can grid view. No, what do we want? Yeah. Good. Awesome. Has anybody been getting out and shooting at all?
Not a damn thing.
Nothing.
No, but I'm planning constantly.
Oh yeah. What are you planning to shoot?
You just have to wait and see.
All right. I see how it's going
To
to be.
spend 5 days in the Tetons, but sadly there are equally 5 out of control forest fires, which meant that they were covered in smoke virtually the whole time, which is very tedious.
Yeah, I live in Pflugerville, and normally we can see. We're kind of up on a hill. We can see into Hutto. It's only like 2 or 3 miles away. And Monday, the haze was so bad, we couldn't even hardly see Hutto. And I mean, that's here. I can only imagine how bad they were everywhere else. So you were in the Tetons, Nick?
Yeah, it was a trip that Randy Dijkstra, if that's how you pronounce his surname.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, Randy.
Yeah. So
How was the trip with him?
Everybody's like,
it was good. We had a good time. It was just frustrating because of the atmospheric conditions. I mean, we saw bears, we saw elk, we saw moose, we saw some nice vistas. But my hit rate is about 0.5% at the moment on keepers because I just cannot deal with the smoke.
sometimes bad weather can make good photos. Did the smoke or haze? Did that at least add something? Did it at least have the potential to add something interesting to them?
We'll see.
Nah, that's tough. I'm sorry. That's tough. Yeah, I would feel bad. We teach astrophotography, and like four in a row we got clouded out or something like that. It was like 15 months that every time we tried to go out, clouds rolled in. Like as we showed up, it's like, oh, I can't control it, but I wish I could. I wish I had a thermostat for the clouds.
You got one for Saturday night too, right?
Yeah. So Saturday night, yeah, we're teaching star trails at Reveille Peak. So that'll be fun. I have some new software for star trails that Steven turned me on to. I'm digging it. I just used it for the first time this weekend. I did a star trail at the wedding I shot this weekend, and it worked really well. The one I used to use blended the entire photo, and this new one's called Six Filter, and it looked for just the stars, so it wasn't trying to blend all the foregrounds, which was really helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a lot cleaner image where the foreground didn't keep getting brighter and brighter and brighter as well. So
I haven't used it for star trails yet, but I've stacked lots of the Milky Way.
yeah,
Just playing around with it and trying to find the right settings.
Yeah,
But
Can I ask you guys a question?
No.
How do you focus on infinity when you're trying to take pictures of the stars?
So, are you doing star trails or Milky Way?
That's what the directions say. Focus on.
Well,
I'm
it's
just trying to take my first pictures at night.
So, there's two answers to that. If you're trying to take stars, what I do is go to live view, find the brightest star in my screen, and then manually focus until the star is as small as it can be. So usually, as you're focusing, it's big, big, smaller, 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 bigger, bigger, and then I just kind of play back and forth until it's the smallest it's going to be, because that's when it's in focus. Now for star trails, right? If you're trying to do a star trail, I tend to focus on the foreground element because the stars are just going to be a blur anyway. So I don't need perfect sharpness on the stars. I need it on typically my foreground element, typically. Whereas Milky Way, I want it critically sharp on the Milky Way.
Okay.
Yeah, and some of it is learning your lenses. Like some lenses have focus scales, but the focus scales are always like, close. Like it says infinity, but it usually is exactly infinity, like where it says it on the focus scale. So some of it's just learning your lens and what works for that. You might want to like tape it off or do something where it's locked into what you want. I have accidentally bumped a camera. And I shot like 20 photos that I thought were all in focus because the first one was, and then in between the first and second, I bumped the camera. So then I had 19 photos in a row, about a foot out of focus. That was fun. But I was all excited. I've been doing light painting on the foreground, been running around, brought them in. Not one was in focus, but the first one was. The second one wasn't. Yeah.
I still got my lens taped down.
Yeah. Well, and some of it, try it during the daytime. So, like, it's really easy to see. Just focus on the horizon line at daytime and just tape it down.
Yeah.
And that way you don't have to worry about it. Or like a blue hour as you're setting up.
Yeah.
Well, I know some people that'll take Christmas lights, set them up far away, and then use them as stars and focus on them, and then tape it down.
Yeah.
There's something called a Batinoff mask.
Yeah.
And you can use that if you're really going to get into it.
Yeah.
Put it in the chat.
Well, I moved out here. This is my new out here in the middle of nowhere.
We're kind of jealous.
And it's very I'm on Balcones Wildlife Preserve, basically. It's across the street from me and around me. So it's really dark all night long. Like it's dark skies.
The one on 1431?
Do you know where Cow Creek Road is?
Yeah. I've always wanted to go
off of 1431 and between 1431 and 1174. There's this road called Cow Creek Road. It's like a one-lane road out in the middle of nowhere.
So
yeah.
Cow Creek right there at 1431, I've always thought it'd be a good place because it has some cool like rocks in the little creek, and there's an old bridge there, and I've wanted to like jump
Internet's
in.
not great out here though.
Yeah. But yeah, I know exactly where Cow Creek is. I've gone past it 100 times. I'll be driving past it on Saturday. So cool. Awesome. Anybody else got anything fun going on? Photo related. We'll keep it somewhat on topic. You're still Clay? Can't hear you yet. Still can't hear you. Do.
Now.
Nope, there you are, Clay. Now I hear you.
You can hear me.
I can now. I don't know what you clicked.
I guess I clicked smart audio, which is
awesome, Carol.
For dumb users. Okay. Question is, I just got a Ojo, Prime Day. They had stuff on sale, so I bought an Ojo action camera. So I just wondered how many people were using GoPros or action cameras or other sorts of these small cameras, and any thoughts you have on
that. I've got a GoPro that I attach sometime to the top of my camera. And like when I'm out there walking around with the bears taking pictures, I also video what I'm doing. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
In my age, there is no action.
I hope no action.
It's eaten by a bear and will be captured all for YouTube later. His family will be set for life when it goes viral.
I've used it at air shows too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, Clay, I've used them a whole bunch. GoPros, I have a love-hate relationship with them. They're cool for what they do, especially if you're around water. So when we shoot underwater, we've actually done some like underwater filming with them, and it's cool. But they always seem to run out of battery just at the moment you need them.
Yep.
Bought some
You can't
extra.
tell it's on. I can never tell when mine's on.
Yeah, but yeah, Andrew and I used to use them. We had that Josh and Andrew on the road show, and we used them a bunch for that. But yeah, right about the time the action, they'd be running, nothing happened. Just about the time the action stopped, they'd stop. So yeah, but they're cool. I'm like, you can throw them in the water, and you can throw them around and do stuff. So.
And how much? Since they have such a wide angle in most cases, although they have different settings, the new number 9 version. So I was just wondering if for still photos, you end up having to crop down probably to the middle of the picture, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on what you're trying to do with them. They'd be great for like, time lapse of the night sky because they're super wide like that.
And Carol says I can put it in the dishwasher. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Actually, I will confess to putting my iPhone in the washer.
Yeah, they are definitely
in my pants pocket, and I just threw it in the.
Did it survive?
No.
Yeah,
I was pretty mad.
GoPros definitely will go places that other cameras you wouldn't even think of like putting them. Right? I mean, they'll most cameras you wouldn't just throw in a pool or throw in the water, or throw in a dishwasher. That's such a strange. But
video your dishwasher cleaning the dishes.
Yeah, do we have that video?
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah. Oh. But I mean, they're interesting. Like you can mount them, like those suction cups. You can mount them to cars and get like the low shots and stuff. You would put them in places that you wouldn't do them for anything else. You know what I mean?
Well, that's cool. I hope to give it a try.
Yeah.
How's my audio now? I'm
That's
using
good.
a new mic.
It's better.
Looks like Josh says. The camera runs out of battery and aliens land in your backyard. There's no proof.
Clay, it's not too good. We can hear you.
Thanks, Patty. I'll mute myself now and hide in shame.
Rough crowd.
Man, did somebody write the obituary on that one?
The bump.
No, that was good. Charles, you had a question?
Ouch. No, I was just going to say. I mean, if you threw the GoPro in the dishwasher and it survived, what light did you put in there so you could see what it did? Most lights aren't tough enough to go in the dishwasher either. So
that's a good question.
That seems kind of pointless.
Yeah.
But it'd be clean.
Yeah, the dishes are not washed. I don't know how they do that. They run around inside there.
That's fun. I don't know.
The dishwasher cycle's too long anyway.
You know what? The microwave has a light. Why don't you try that instead?
Oh.
Don't you remember? I mean, who is it that did the oven cam and the refrigerator cam? What's his name? Good Eats. The guy that does Good Eats. We'll see if a GoPro will survive when you put it in a real oven.
Yeah.
You could light your dishwasher with glow sticks.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're talking about Alton Brown?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm curious how that would end up. Ooh. I need to find the photo of we were doing one of our soaked photos and we wanted the water to be UV radiant. And so we broke like 15 highlighters and glow sticks and put them in the water. And then we were spraying the water so that it was black light iridescent for a shoot. That was fun. I have a picture of me and my camera with it all over my face. It's pretty.
You can order glow in the dark powder that's soluble in water.
Really?
Yeah.
I wish I would have known that. We just went to Walmart and bought a bunch of highlighters and glow sticks. I'm sure it was real safe. I bet the EPA loves us. Into the water.
Yeah, I just ordered a box of this stuff. It was like $20 for 12 different colors and and a blacklight flashlight.
Well, I built 2 blacklight soft boxes for that very purpose. So if anybody wants blacklight soft boxes, let me know. You can borrow them. It's fun. Not a lot of light though. You're shooting at like 1.4 3200 ISO. It's pretty dark. Well, cool. Well, thanks for everybody for joining. My name's Josh Baker. For those of you, I'm assuming everybody knows who I am by now. I'm the one who talks a lot. We have some fun stuff to talk about today. We have some positions, and we have some voting, and we have new stuff going on. So thank you for being here. So Carol, I'll say congrats officially from the Photo Club on getting into Austin Studio Tour.
Thanks.
That's pretty amazing.
Actually, it's an opportunity because I'm looking for some help. I'm looking for some folks who may want to participate. I was accepted, and I don't know what I'm going to do yet. So I guess if anybody's interested, touch base with me, and we'll figure out. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I'm leaning towards doing something maybe with Alexa, or maybe doing something with technology. Maybe East Austin Studio Tour is kind of like this little artsy thing where people do these wild projects, like when you would get the Viking ship and sail to the town lake. So I could do something big, small. I was thinking maybe making a movie. I'm not sure. Playing around with some ideas. So I thought I would open it up and get people who want to participate and maybe do some brainstorming and see what comes out of it. It's definitely much more. It's an Austin thing. It's more like fun to be collaborative. I want it to be fun. I'd sort of like it to be photo based. It can be art based. It doesn't have to be photography, but I do have a lot of photography and other folks do. So it's going to be a fun project, whatever we decide to do. So if anybody's interested, I guess let me know.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool. So on that note, I'm going to tell you one story to explain why we're making some personnel changes or trying some new positions out. Not in a bad way, in a good way. So Patty and I have been talking with the Round Rock Arts Council. And there's nothing official yet, but just so you know, we're in discussion to have like a really big photo show, like really big. So
cool.
Yeah, like 80 pieces big. Y'all will be seeing the details, but and we're going to keep doing the West Pecan shows as well. And then assuming that the library can open back up, I think this summer we'll probably try to get into the Pflugerville library again and have another show there. So that leads me to a couple things. One, I need to be going out and shooting. Nick, you're doing good on that so far. You're beating all of us with the Tetons. Two, we probably should be talking a little bit more about how to make prints. We're not going to do that today, but yes, we need to start talking about making prints and getting your files ready for prints. But three, we actually are going to, well, we're announcing today that we're going to have 2 new officer positions to help us with some of that. One is a art show coordinator to help us. It's basically going to be NAPfS curator. So if anybody is interested in that, Harley, Carol, if Patty was on, Robertson, I'd be also pinging them. But anybody that's interested for that, hey boys. So that's going to be something that we're going to add to our upcoming elections. The curator is going to be responsible for communicating with the spaces and the members about expectations, when things are going to be held, all the details, right? Patty Mitchell is going to be assisting with that for 2021 because she's been doing it this year. We just added it to her responsibilities as vice president. She didn't really get asked. I just kind of told her she had to do it, and she's done a great job. But it's a lot of work, and so we want that to just be an officer level position. So there's definitely going to be a lot of opportunities for the club to have their work printed and put on display and potentially sold. So those are all things that I think as the club evolves, as we continue to grow, as we become artists in our own right, I think it's only right and proper that we print our work more and get it out into the public. And so there are going to be more juried shows inside of Photo Club, and there's going to be more opportunities for everybody to print and display their work. Just so you know, with Pecan, we having a deal with them. We installed a gallery hanging system there. And so we're going to be, every year, we're probably going to be having 3 to 6 months of art up at West Pecan. They get a lot of traffic. There have been pieces that have sold through there. Yeah, the next one's going up tomorrow night. So Patty Mitchell, thank you. I'm going to give you a clap for it all happened very fast. Very, very fast. Like they called us on October 1st. I'm like, hey, where you guys at? We're like, what? They're like, yeah, aren't y'all going to be hanging stuff? We're like, ooh, we never got that email. And so within 15 days, we put out the call for art, had 3 judges jury the art, and printed, and are going to be hanging it tomorrow, which is like warp speed for an art show. So everybody that was involved in that, thank y'all very much. And I'm really excited to see it up tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow evening. Am I right on that time, Patty?
Yes. Yeah. I don't think anybody here didn't. Oh yeah, no. It's drop off between 7 and 8 and hanging between 8 and 9.
Awesome.
And I need.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
And I need help with it, especially since I've hurt my wrist and my foot. I help.
So yes, if anybody could help.
I'll drive down and join you.
Yeah, I can probably come
9 o'clock.
Well. 7 o'clock. Right. 7.
Okay.
What time do you need somebody there, Patty?
Well, 7 o'clock to start getting the artwork ready.
Okay.
I mean, accepted.
But they're still open. I mean, last time they
yeah,
they made us leave at 9.
No, they made us leave at 5.
They've changed their hours. So on Friday night they'll be open until 9.
And we weren't supposed to start hanging till 5. So that was where that was hard. But this time we'll have we'll be open the whole time. We're dropping off art and hanging it.
Yeah, it doesn't really take with that system now, it really doesn't take that much time. Like once we know where everything's going, it's 10 minutes really. Once everything's ready, just to go from on the floor to on the wall, it's not that long.
last time we did it in a total of 20 minutes, and that stuff's still coming in.
Yeah.
As it came in, it went up.
Yeah, it's not too. That system is really quick, so that's good. So so the next thing is from that. Normally we would have an event that is associated with that, either a soiree, a photo walk, something. And so we're adding another position that's going to be that's annoying. That's going to be our outings coordinator. So somebody that is in charge of posting all the stuff to meet up to the calendar and coordinating and planning outings. It will be assisted by the leadership team. I have lots of ideas for outings. We just weren't able to do many this year because, COVID. So those are going to be two new positions that we're going to be adding. So Alan is going to be going up for that one, or running in the election. That's also going to be an electable position. And so the programs coordinator is going to be up as well because Alan wants to run for something else, which is totally great.
So it's vacant, yes.
Yeah, so it'll be vacant. So here's my point to all of this. We need some people to volunteer and put their names in the hat so that we can get people and help the current leadership and the 2021 leadership team to manage all of this. I'm helping obviously with all of this. Patty's been helping with all of this. The whole entire leadership team has been helping with all of this. Like I said, we did this West Pecan show literally in 15 days, which for an art show, that's stupid fast. But we don't want to have to race every time, and we want to have one person point of contact to manage that sort of thing. Is there anybody on this meeting that either the programs coordinator or art show coordinator that anybody here is interested in? Not everybody wants.
Anybody want to ask questions?
Oh yeah, ask questions. Yeah, I want you to ask questions first. That's probably better, Claire. Thank you.
I guess I kind of had a question in that I think I talked to you a little bit, Josh, about some of the things. For me personally, next year I'm gonna try to be traveling depending on COVID. Mm-hmm. I guess I would be interested. I've done a lot with the art shows and with my own personal work, and I would love to help with that position. But I'm just concerned because my travel schedule next year, I don't know what it's going to be. And so I'm wondering, would the group be open to have somebody having that position that maybe has a bad travel schedule and be open for folks to help with it?
Carol, when I had that same argument when Andrew was asking me to do programs. I was like, but Andrew, I travel so much. And that was when there was no COVID, so I was traveling a lot. But when I was gone, I just made it clear to people I was going to be gone, and other people jumped in and took care of stuff. I will certainly, whoever's going to do it, I would help them a lot. Like, you wouldn't need training from me, but since I can do it and I can help you. And, and I'm pretty sure even if both of us are traveling at the same time, somebody else, we just set them up for making sure it got done. So I think that wouldn't be a problem is what I'm trying to say in a long way.
No, I agree with that. Most of it is going to be phone calls and emails. So as long as you can answer phone calls and emails, I don't think it's, there would be some days it would be great to have that person there accepting order on the day they take it down. But outside of that, I don't think it really matters where you are in the world to send an email. I don't think it really matters where in the world you are to make a phone call.
Well, I think if you're traveling, you want to focus on traveling. So I think we should be able to make it so it wouldn't be a problem. She wouldn't have to try and do it long distance. Because I know, like, when I'm traveling, I'm usually out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. And, and my whole, from the time I'm up to the time I go to bed, I'm, if I have extra time, I'm trying to
squeeze and
photos.
Yeah. So I mean, it would. I mean, it'd make it harder, but I don't think it's impossible. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I think if you and I worked as a team, Carol, we'd be fine.
Yeah.
I'd love for you to do it.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, like it's something that interests me a lot too. So I'm also, as I can, helping. I'm more of a cajoler and a poker and a prodder. That's really my role. But I'm pretty good at like hands and doing stuff as well. So, yeah. Hey, Laszlo, what's up, y'all?
Hi.
Hi, all. Good
Good
to
to see
see
you.
you.
I'm leaving. You can't see me though.
Sorry, we were late a little bit.
That's okay. We're glad you're here. So just a quick recap. We're announcing 2 new officer positions. One for art show coordination, because there's going to be more art shows coming up for 2021. And then a new meetings coordinator, because outings coordinator, sorry, because we're planning to do more things out in the field. Now that one Alan is planning to run, but that leaves the program coordinator. So there's a couple things with that program. That's, bringing in the speakers basically. But what I want to do to make that position a little bit easier, I want to figure out a way. And Ed, this is kind of a question for you. Is there a way on the website we could have like a speaker, like comment card Dropbox? I don't know how you would do that, but or just somewhere that, or some way, maybe all of us can think of it, but some way to get speaker ideas out into that program coordinator's hands so that they can just reach out and go.
The email would work really well. The
just sending it that way.
Club email, because the way Ed has it set up, he can label somebody program.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Well, actually, I also started a forum group about a month ago for this very purpose, just to put out any ideas.
Okay, so we need to be directing people there.
So yeah, just go to the forum.
Okay.
But as a ex program person, it's best if it's directed right at the programs person. That's why I think it would work.
Well, you have discussion in one place and then just ping those in.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, my point being that I think the program coordinator job is going to be easier this year for 2021 because we're taking outings out of it. Before they were in charge of outings and speakers, and that becomes a lot of work as well. And so we're splitting those off basically. So the meetings, the program coordinator is for the speakers and making sure all that's good. And then we'll have an outings person for the external, like going out in the field kind of stuff. And there's going to need to be some coordination between the art show and the outings, because I think there should be events that tie in with those. Yes, Clay.
Yeah, I have 2 points. One is that we use Slack.
Yep.
And so, of course, the members who are not officers currently didn't know much about that. For the members to exchange ideas. So we have a channel for programs. And as people get ideas, we can our leadership group has fed ideas to Alan and to Patty, and then it's up to the program coordinator to kind of look at those and perhaps reach out and write an email. Maybe it's a cold call or an email saying, "Oh, we heard that you've got a book on wildflowers in the hill country. Would you consider, being a speaker for our group?" And it's even now possible, it seems to me, to tap into people like we did before who aren't in the immediate area, like Florida. So it's really a creative, I think, if for a program coordinator who's interested in learning and meeting people, not afraid to make to send an email to someone, it's pretty cool. And we have some templates we also have a Google Drive with shared correspondence from the past, because we've been working on this for a while. So it's not a position where you wouldn't be starting from scratch, really. We also had a spreadsheet set up with ideas. People had suggested people who could be our program speakers. And of course, the topics, at one point, we were looking for ideas, and we're looking for ideas tonight for people to suggest topics If they don't know of a person right offhand, but they're still really interested in, like I said, action cameras, or we have the lighting, we have all sorts of, we've done the how-to demos with software. We'd like to hear some ideas tonight, and but the program coordinator position has a standing committee. Each of our coordinators, program, membership, and competition have
recruit who you need.
Yeah, you draft people so that you have helpers. You have helpers to do the art show. You have helpers to do.
No, you don't.
Well, you can. So Verlin, in answer to your question that was in chat, if it's something that you want to learn up on, volunteer to be that person's helper, and there you go. That's how you do it. You just say, "Hey, I want to help you out with this, whatever area interests you," and then now you're on the committee. That's how you do it. So we're member run, right? Like everybody here is the people doing everything. So if you want to help, we will say yes and then put you to work. So if you want to help and learn and get more involved, we would love to have you, and we will absolutely invite you in and torture you. So yeah. Also, if somebody is not in this meeting that you think would be a good fit for any of these things, now would be a good time to say, "Hey, I heard about this in the club meeting. I saw you weren't there. I think you'd be great for this role. You need to call Josh. Here's my phone number."
Just tell them that they've been elected.
That's my cell phone. If you think of anybody that needs to call me for any reason, that's it. You can call me at any time from 7 a.m. till about 10 p.m. Anything earlier or after that, I probably won't answer.
Could we ask the people on tonight's call? I mean, I know Dennis and Nick are relatively new, but thoughts on being a program coordinator or getting more involved with choosing programs?
Personally, I'm feeling like I'm still finding my feet, having been in the club 2 or 3 months and been in NAPfS for a whole 8 months so far. I'm very happy to help out with stuff, but taking the primary role just makes me a bit nervous, given I'm still finding my way around.
Sure, absolutely. I will say also, part of this club's mission is to educate our members as best we can, right? And so the program coordinator is that person that fills that role, not to do the educating, but to find people that can. So that being said, as members in the club, y'all are all here. If there are things you want to get more educated on, please let us know, and we will try to find those people. Okay, to the best of our ability.
How about
my ability isn't very high, so I'm not offering a whole lot, but we've brought in some cool people. I mean, I think so. Like, I think we've brought in some really cool speakers over the years. And so a lot of it started with somebody going, "Hey, can we do this?" And it's like, "Yeah, sure." Right. It's club run. We can do whatever we want, but we need to figure out a way where we can hear more from everybody. Does that make sense? But
sure.
We're basically here to inspire, educate, and give people a reason to go out and take more photos. That's it. And so anything we can do to make that better, I am very interested in that. Yes, Laszlo.
I'm new in the club too, because we lately moved to Bastrop from Houston, but we lived in Houston for 30 years. And then I teach photography at the Houston Center Photography for 20 plus years. And then I'm running one of the instructor of the Houston Photography Study Group. And then several club nearby Houston invited me for presentations. So I have several presentations which I can offer for the club free. And then we published 6 books. And then how can we make the books? How can we the portfolio books? How can we set up portfolios? We can talk about the portfolios, whatever. So that can be a topic. Like our latest book is my inner piece, which is a black and white large format photography portfolio book containing 12 portfolios. So that is really, really good. And then if I can make a list or whatever, what kind of programs I can make, and then I'm really happy to offer these things. So
do you know a lot of
we
famous?
need the scheduling because the timing is tough, and the Thursday, unfortunately, sometimes matching with the Houston Photography Study Group, where I'm a critical leader. So in that point, sometimes Lexi is alone and I'm in the other computer. So
we, just to answer that one question, our meetings are Thursdays, but that doesn't mean that our education has to be at the meetings. So,
okay.
That's typically when we do it, but
most of the Thursday also good, but any other time is okay. So even we can make field trips if the COVID will be over. The next year, end of next year.
And so, just so everybody knows, like, if y'all want to go do something, also tell us, and like, we'll make it happen. If you have an idea, like, hey, like I had an idea while I was browsing for something else, like I thought it'd be cool to book Longhorn Caverns and do a private tour with 20 people. You can do a private tour of Longhorn Caverns, and you can bring tripods and cameras. I think that would be awesome. And it's only like $11 a person. Like it's not expensive at all. There's something that I'm thinking about doing just for fun, right? I don't know if I'll get anything cool from it, but like, it would be fun to do. So if y'all have ideas like that, throw them out there, and we can do that. So if you want to go do something, Laszlo, we should do it in July. Yeah, exactly, when it's nice and cool. Then I got it. Then part of the group is we have a network of people that are also interested in probably doing the same things you're doing, whatever it is you're doing.
So I can make a brief, one small paragraph description. What does it mean, that program? And then what is the topic, and then so why do I want to do it? And then you can select what is better fit to the club, because you see, that is the main thing. I don't know too much about the club. And
we like taking pictures.
That is,
yes,
it's something.
Oh, is that what it's about?
Yeah, I know.
And we're really good looking.
Laszlo, I love everything you're saying right now. I think that's all wonderful, and that's awesome.
So what is the sort? How can I we send this email format, the program suggestions and description to you, or to whom?
I would send it to
Josh, me, and Alan, at least, for the whole leadership.
What's our email? Our email is web at Ed, what is it?
It's web at NAPfS.club.
Yeah, and then Josh email. What is the email?
Azul Ox. It's a weird name. It's a Spanglish. Don't worry about it. It's half English, half Spanish.
Azulox. Josh
Azulox.
Okay.
Porque hablo español también,
Azulox. That is
fine. You got
Start with your favorite topic.
Azulox.com.
Yeah, the club email address is at the bottom of the homepage.
Yes.
Yeah, web at NAPfS.club.
Okay, so I will send it a few days from now.
Yeah, no rush.
Very good, very good. And we would certainly welcome for that. So even if you know some famous photographers that would be a speaker, that's the kind of link. Give us a phone number that we'll contact them.
Yeah.
So the question is, this is a non-profit organization, right? So the famous photographer will not get any money.
We have a treasury which we haven't spent a whole lot of. So as far as honorariums or other things, if that's an inducement to someone to taking the time, I don't think that's
Just,
something the officers would not be in favor of.
But it's probably the committee decision or something. How can you spend the money and for where? So
yeah, I mean, it would just need to go to leadership. You'd have to approve it.
So that is not an easy. I was involved a lot in the Houston Photographic Society issues, so I know.
How do they reward speakers and programs? Do they offer an honorarium, or does it depend?
They beg a lot, and then I was program chairman, I was competition chairman, and all of the others. But everybody is begging and telling them no money.
Yeah.
So
there's a couple ways that we've been able to make things happen. So like we brought in Rick Salmon a couple years ago, and so we partnered with Precision Camera to kind of split that expense. Club members got in free, and then everybody else had to pay. And then we found a venue that could host it. And we had like 100 people show up, something like that. So there's a couple different ways, right? We could, I don't want to pay them a whole lot of money, but we certainly can make it worth their time. But also a lot of people have, sometimes you have to sit through their sales pitch for 5 or 10 minutes. Right? So, that's fine too. We have 80 something club members. That's a pretty good number. So, if it's something that, people want to market to dedicated photographers, that can be worth their time as well. And then some of it also because we're doing everything virtually right now, we don't have to fly them into Austin, right? And so, some of that, it's not as hard to do as it was in some ways.
That's right.
But I'm pretty creative and I'm kind of persuasive. So if it's something that the leadership feels that would benefit the club, we can make it work.
Yeah, the Houston Center for Photography, all of the programs, of course, is pay-per-view, and then they pay me for the virtual program the same amount as when I was there physically.
Gotcha.
But now I'm in Bastrop, so this is a little bit different situation. 2.5 hours back is different.
And I get, and I know that Precision has actually teamed up with the Houston Center for Photography on some things as well. And so there's avenues that we can reach out to grease the wheels. So,
and then I'm more than happy to go to the Precision Camera or whatever area to make a presentation. And then club members free, and then they can get some money. So whatever, and the club will get some support.
Yeah. So my point is, let's find people, let's go after them, and then we'll make it work from there.
Excellent.
Yeah. So Verlin has some questions on the chat right now, which is, he'd like to see more tutorials. Great. What would you like to see more tutorials on? What subjects? 2, gear for 80 people is kind of weird because we'd all have to pass it around. That's kind of strange. But I have tried in the past to get more like, so like I've been a Zenfolio client for a long time, and I was talking with them, and then everything kind of got weird. But they were going to send us stuff and coupon codes. And so that's kind of where we can use our size to our advantage, is getting group discounts on things like tours or software or things that are scalable, whereas like a new camera is kind of hard to pass around. Yeah, software is probably the easiest one to get discounts for, because that's where the power of Mini comes in. We're talking to some printing people to maybe get some like paper samples and things like that. I'm still kind of working on some of those relationships. And Carol says printing, matting, and framing. Yeah, that's, I think in the like early spring, like January, February, I think that would be a great I would think that'd be a great thing to do, to learn more about framing, matting, and printing. Absolutely. I think even for somebody like, I mean, I print a lot, and it would still be beneficial to me, and I print a lot. It's like getting a tattoo; you can't get just one. So yeah, I think that would be very beneficial. I would actually really love to have one of our competitions next year, instead of them being digital photos, to judging a print photo. You submit an actual print, and then we judge that. Oh,
yeah, it's a good
what
idea.
do y'all think about? What do y'all think about that? Dropping bombs today, and it may be just supplemental. We might have that as like an extra competition. We can have like we have like our basic, our intermediate, our advanced, and then like our ink category, and just like, all right, we're gonna have an ink competition. What's up? So I'm down with that. And I'm happy to help print, just so y'all know, for our shows. Like, I mean, it's not the best print in the world, but I have an Epson P800, and I know I've said it, but if y'all need prints made for a show, like, let me know. Hanmule. But let me know, and I can help make those prints for y'all. Okay. Especially when you know, if you order from the web, you know, you're waiting a couple days. So,
I would like to see some training on maybe post processing.
Okay. Post processing.
Oh, what's going on?
On Topaz.
Was that from me?
I have feedback. It's my fault.
For some reason, Laszlo's showing up twice. I don't know if that's causing the echo or what.
I see. I don't know. How can we remove that? The computer just started and we started and logged me in. I will log off, and then I will try to come back.
Okay.
That looks good, Laszlo. You just have one now.
Now that is good.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, that is good. I'm sorry, computer glitch. I did a class at HCP for matte cutting, and framing. So I'm more than happy to show these kind of tricks and things. Any of you who are interested for that, but that needs not really a virtual. So because the practice part is an important part. We can do virtually a lot of things, but it's different because you need to feel how can you cut, how the knife runs in the mudboard.
Yeah.
So anyway, that is one thing, but virtually we can try, we can show, but I don't know how can you practice it. Framing is easy.
Yeah. So Clay is asking, what are some of the tasks for program coordinator? Really, it's going to be two things that you'd be responsible for: finding the speaker or the club member each month that is presenting at the third Thursday. So we have a T1 meeting that's competition. T3 is our educational meeting, right? So it's either a speaker or somebody from the club talking about something. Maybe an amazing trip they went on, or a tutorial that they want to do, or something. So really the program coordinator's job is two things. One, finding that T3 person for each month. Secondly, if there's any internal club thing that we want to do. So not like a photo walk, not like that, but you know, if we want to have like a printing day, you would be helping with that. If we want to have some type of educational thing outside the meeting, you would probably be expected to help out with that. but mostly like 90% of your role would be helping finding, being in charge of setting up that T3 meeting every month.
Well, and the program coordinator also was in charge, at least when I was doing it, recruiting somebody to do the print display during the meetings before.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, so before COVID and the before times, we would ask somebody to bring prints as people were gathering, kind of like we would have the meeting at 7, but we'd usually gather at 6:30. So in that time ahead of the meeting, and then after the meeting, you could look at their prints. So finding somebody for the prints, that was for the T1 meeting. And honestly, just do a sign up form for that, and you could have your people for the year. But whatever.
Probably more important is to work with Ed or publicity. We were pretty good in 2019 for having an advanced schedule where a month or even 2 months would be ideal. We know who's going to be the speaker, and they understand when they say yes that they provide some links to their photos. They might even write a little bio, give us a program title. So the program coordinator is the main contact person to the program speaker to kind of collect those things, and making sure that Ed and because I help Ed also, I put out the MailChimp announcements. We need to have something that really interests something written about the speaker, so that people know that they can show up. And what they're going to be getting when they show up. So the program coordinator helps the publicity as far as just gathering the information, and that's usually not hard because you've already talked to the.
They're the conduit between the speaker and the club.
Yeah. It's a critical role.
Yeah. And, I did programs before, so I would be willing to help anybody who's new to it if they want my help. And I didn't really write up what. About the artist, the photographer, because the photographer usually had something, and I just pass it on or set them up directly. Play.
Yeah. Maybe a website and a Facebook page, or where people say about me, and it doesn't take much really. Right. It's just trying to do it in advance, trying to get it scheduled a month in advance.
Yeah, I've put it on the front page of the website as soon as I can get the information.
Yeah, you're fast with that. Sometimes too fast.
But we're fortunate tonight to just be talking mostly about program coordinator, and it could be if you're interested in volunteering for the. We haven't heard from Mark tonight. Mark's on board, and he's got several people that are already helping him. I'm fortunate as a membership secretary. There's really been a nice setup with the new website that Ed manages. So the membership, I'm going to hang on to that because there's not much you have to do except some bookkeeping. Ed makes sure that it's automatically, the renewals are sent out. But Mark has Arlie. I want to thank Arlie for being a volunteer when we had name tags. Maybe there'll be a day when we can have our in-person meetings. We'll have name tags again. That was a chore to kind of do the name tags, but I hope that they made a difference at the meeting.
I am good. Yes, talking about competition. One of the things we want to do is start pulling our list together for themes for next year.
Yep.
In general, we alternate months. 1 month we'll have a theme, and the next month will be an open competition where members can submit any type of image they want to. So if anybody has ideas that they would like for the club to use for a theme, please send them to me. You can, my email is on the club website. You can just send it to the competition coordinator, or just anybody on leadership. It'll get to me. And it can be virtually anything. It can be a subject such as portraits or travel. It could be an idea such as speed, or it could be a technical thing such as, wide angle or telephoto, or, various combinations and permutations of what a camera can do. So there's a lot of subjects out there that we have not touched, and we do find that it inspires people or pushes people to do a little bit more than they're used to doing, and in terms of variety. So it gets people out of their comfort zone sometimes, and teaches them something that they didn't even know how to do before. So this goes, the quest goes to everybody, because we want to, at the end of the day, what we want is to make the membership happy. Keep them interested in what we're doing. And if we use, if you have good ideas that you want to submit for that, please do.
Yeah, leadership is going to be meeting in sometime this winter, and we'll be, I guess, probably December. So get them in now, so that we can discuss all of the themes, so that we can plan those out. Because the other thing with themes is that we would like to have events maybe the month ahead of time to line up with that, right? So if we're doing the night sky again, it would go the month before to have a night sky outing, just as an example. And so, right, we want to do a moment or sports. Maybe we could set up a sports photo walk, right? Just ideas. But we want to have some cohesion on what we're doing with themes and outings and print shows and outings. And that's why the outing coordinators kind of were splitting off, because there's a lot that can go on with that. But personally, I like the alternating, because a lot of my work is all over the place anyway. But I also like being challenged. And I think that's one of the great things about the themes is it kind of makes you step outside your normal. So I'm down for mixing it up with some new themes, and who can take the widest angle photo, right? The deepest aperture photo. I don't know, F64 challenge. I don't know. We'll go crazy. But just whatever. But let us know what you think would be fun ones, and then we'll pick the 5 or 6 that we need for the year.
I'll send an email out to the entire club.
Good.
And,
okay.
Hey Ed, is it easy to send like a poll question out to everybody, or we could have like 2?
Yeah, actually, on the ballot that I'm going to send out, there's questions on the themes on the ballot.
Like just where they could like a write-in box for a theme.
Okay, great.
And then can we also have one write-in for either topics or speakers they would like to see?
You bet. Let me show you what I've got on it so far, and
okay, that'd be great.
If I can, it's very slow here.
Come here.
Are you seeing the ballot? Oops, no, it's on the wrong screen. Just a second.
How many screens do you have, Ed?
3.
Yeah. Are you like Tank in the Matrix, where it's got like the whole rack?
Yeah. Well, actually, this is left over from when I was working. So.
Yeah.
So basically, I mean, this is the ballot. It's not finalized yet, but there's president, vice president, all these, and I put art show coordinator on it, and outings coordinator.
Okay.
But down below, I've got how many themes should we have, and then suggest any monthly competition themes. I can also do what you were saying is suggesting outings and things like that too. So, I mean, we can put anything we want to on the ballot, and then when I send it out, everybody can reply.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. Yeah, so that we can give them that one, especially since we can do it now where we can gather that data so that leadership can get together and kind of pick those themes. And the reason and the reason that we have leadership do that is so that the competition coordinator can have a hand in it, and that the meetings coordinator can plan around it. And there's just a lot of cohesion that we need to have for that. I've said that word now twice. I don't know if I've ever said the word cohesion in my life. So synergy.
Well, and it's also good to have a few people working on it. So you're also looking for a balance and looking at what we've already done, trying to get new things.
Yep. Team ups. Ooh.
Maybe a buddy system sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of how that would. That's interesting. I don't know how that would work, but can we time it with the release of like the Avengers movie? I don't know.
I'm solo, so I don't have somebody. I don't even have cat.
I'm sitting right here, Patty. I'm right here.
Oh, okay.
You were just at my house yesterday or 2 days ago.
You know, that you find somebody in the club that you work with that you don't normally work with.
Oh,
and
well,
maybe it's one person photos and one person edits, or you work together somehow.
Ooh.
Like Secret Santa.
I suggest Exquisite Corpse. There's a movement in painting called Exquisite Corpse, and that's exactly what it is. It's a painting that they didn't finish, and they give it to somebody else to finish. And so if you Google like Exquisite Corpse, there's lots of, they tell you how to run those sort of things, and you can do it for photography. It's where like you an image and somebody else would finish it.
I liked it. That's cool.
I did that in my.
Yeah, and it's.
I did that in my art room with my students. Somebody would start a picture and they'd switch, and then somebody else would work on it for a little while, and then they'd trade.
Yeah, that's kind of like how they do it. That's great. That's good. You'd have to score it like you would a rodeo, right? 50 points for the bull and 50 points for the rider. Sorry, am I the only one that goes to rodeos? Just me? Okay.
I wonder if Verlin could say more about his ideas, equipment share. We did have a couple of social meetings where people did gear swaps.
Yeah,
so that was part of a social thing. Again, it works best when it's in person, I understand. But maybe if we had a forum on the website, and if we had someone to kind of cheerlead for it, like Verlin, or someone who really gets excited about, hey, I've got 6 speed lights, like Josh.
I have more than 6.
Yeah.
I have
so
speed lights
or tripod, or Deborah Cole was so kind. She brought several of her bags. She was, downsizing, and she brought several of her photo bags, and I snagged one of them. It's much better than the bag that I bought. So Verlin, any comment?
He's muted.
It's okay.
I mute myself when I'm not talking. Thinking about things that would be immediately useful as far as gear swap goes, like lights, like soft boxes, like really odd props, like if you're looking for a particular kind of painting or background for something that you could share with people, or and just kind of be in a library sort of thing, so that if somebody's looking for a specific item to fit a theme.
I feel weird. Yes, I mean I hear what you're saying. Yes, Carol, the moon. You are the moon to my sun.
I got a moon. When he said props, I'm sorry. I have to show you. I got a moon.
And I really like that moon.
Carol, why are you mooning us at a public meeting?
Oh, Paula made the same joke, but she was a little slow.
Oh.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you plan to organize a swap meet? Like a Dallas Center for Photography does it twice or 3 times a year? Swap meets?
We do that. So normally on our T5 meeting, so in a month that has a 5th Thursday, We kind of do like a happy hour social where there's no set agenda, but in those meetings we let people know that swap meet time.
But in that point is just focusing to the group. But for a larger swap, like if the precision camera would give a venue and then the club can go there and then we can have tables there and then we can fill out those things.
So Precision does swap meets, so it kind of fills that need. Yeah, they have swap meets maybe twice a year as well. So I hear what y'all are saying. I think I don't want the club to be responsible right now for equipment, as in terms of like the club shouldn't own equipment. But if you have things you need, call me first. Let me know. So if I will ask this now, does anybody need any darkroom material? Or like in a larger or tray pans or anything? Does anybody want or need any of that?
I'm shooting only film. So 4x5 and 8x10 sheet film.
So I have a whole storage unit that is nothing but photo equipment, with some of it being film, some of it not being film. But I would be happy to get rid of like half of that closet.
Okay.
So interesting too.
There are props and there's stuff. So maybe we'll have a Josh's storage closet. Come take what you want thing.
I will email you what maybe you're looking for, and then. But I have too many things, so that's.
I know, me too. But if y'all have specific needs, if anybody has a need, like, hey, I have the shoot coming up, I need to borrow X, like throw it out in the Facebook group, throw it out in the meetup group. I bet somebody has one that they're not using that day. Most anything I have, if I'm not using it that day, you're more than welcome to try.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Not like the group owned gear, but like we had stuff in a database or a library that we could say, yeah, I happen to have a couple of large soft boxes or something weird like that.
Yeah, I think it'd just be easier. That's a lot of work for any one person to do. I know, because I've tried to put all of my gear into an Excel spreadsheet, and it was like a week exercise, like a 1 week exercise for me trying to do that. I get, but just if you have a need, throw it out there, and I bet people will fill that role.
I like what Verlin is. I like what Verlin's saying. In the sense, I was trying to think of if we don't. Ed, correct me. It's something to think about in terms of the website. Where people could do a profile. I know we have galleries. I know we have, you can do your own library, but essentially a social media approach would be to ask people, you include a picture of yourself and then and then you describe what you're interested in doing. And if we had
we could probably do that. I'm not sure exactly how to do it right now. Visual Pursuits doesn't really have anything like that set up, but we could probably figure out a way to do it.
That might give us a channel. It might be another forum, a forum discussion. Say I'm thinking about buying which action camera, which should I get an R5 or an R6?
Right. Those are great questions for the Facebook group.
You might even actually. I was going to say, Clay, we might even be able to just set that up as like a private gallery, because we already have private galleries. So, you might be able to shove things into there.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, there's probably ways to do it, but I would for now just throw out a question like, hey, does anybody have an extra speed light and a softbox? And I bet people will. So.
That's the easiest way to do it. When you have a need, ask.
Dumb. Yeah, I meant to say dumb. Damn. Yeah, just ask. Yeah, if you need something, just ask. Because here's why. It starts getting weird if you start listing like all the equipment. Like, I know everybody in this meeting, but like you start asking it like on the website, like it gets to be a little sketchy. Like, I don't want people to know everything I have. So there's some liability issues that I get a little nervous about.
We have your phone number. We can just call you.
literally anybody that wants my, all you have to do is Google Azulok. You'll get my home address, my cell phone. If y'all have a question, call me. Seriously, like I'm open to anything. If y'all text me is probably the best. But if you're like, hey Josh, can I borrow X? I'll probably say yes unless I need it like that day.
I wanted to ask who Jim is. That Jim Smith or is it another Jim?
He's muted.
Hello, Jim.
Yeah, that's Jim Smith.
Yeah, just.
How are you, Jim? What are you interested in? Here. Jim?
It's all good.
Okay. It's all good. All right. And how about Jean? We got Jean Thomas. I know she's won some with some winning images. Can she unmute and say what she's working on, or if she has an idea for a program, or if she's interested in being on any of our leadership group? Hello, Jean.
Ronnie.
I don't necessarily have any suggestions off the top of my head, and I would love to help with something, but it's not that everybody's like have 80 million things going on. But I'm not sure time commitment wise how much I can give, and I don't drive. So being at places, is not guaranteed for me.
Okay.
If y'all have a suggestion for something I can do.
I mean, honestly, program coordinator doesn't really have to be anywhere. But you just can you email people and can you make phone calls?
I can email people. I hate phone calls.
Okay.
That's why I'm always muted, guys.
I can email people and make phone calls. I just don't know who to email or who to phone call.
So yeah, so that's kind of the thing is that we want to make that role more of a here's a list of people that are interested, pick one and message it all, message them and get the ball rolling. But I don't want it to have to be you have to do all your own lead generation. I want you just to be able to like, oh, that person, cool. I can find them out. So I want the program coordinator to be a little bit more crowd generated, right? Who we're going after. I want the club to suggest more of who we want, and that person just goes and just starts the conversation with all of those people, not the crowd, but the speakers. So
yep. When I did programs, I had no connections, nobody to go to. So it was all getting ideas from other people in the club. That's how I was able to do it.
Yeah. And honestly, like some of them will be internal as well. I know that like Bill just did a meeting where he demoed that 3D light modeler thing. I know that I've given some presentations. So in the meetings where we can't get somebody, that's where you pick up the phone and be like, hey, Josh, hey, Patty, who should I call? And then we help find somebody. But again, I want us to find speakers that the membership wants us, topics, right? Like if we like Astro, let's go find Ian Norman and see if he'll do a talk with us. If we want automotive, let's see if, somebody that does automotive photography want, right? Whatever topics we want covered, let's just go find people that do that and let's have them come talk. But that's why it's important to get their feedback, right? And so that's why, that's why if we can get that data generated now, then we can start going after those people instead of put just a list of names in a hopper and be like, here's the people we want to go after. Let's go. And then just start scheduling them as far out as we can. So anyway, Ronnie, I'm volunteering you for it. No. only if you want to.
I'll read over all the job lists.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Who has questions for me right now? Anybody have a question?
I was wondering about publicity. Do we have any plans to do any separate publicity, like make a publicity person?
We used to. So we used to have Russ used to be our marketing person. Honestly, I don't know. And if anybody wants to refute me, feel free. But I think just by doing what we do well, that's our marketing. Now, if we have a big speaker or we have some big program, yeah, we might want to do something about that. But in general, I think just doing good work, by doing the gallery shows, by doing the meetups, that's really our marketing.
I was kind of thinking of publicity for like the shows and stuff.
Oh,
I feel like
I see.
they do press releases, try to get interest in them. So
that's a great question that I have zero answer for.
Well,
that's a good question.
I put it as in part of the description of that position that person would do publicity, but that's where also somebody who, like if you have some assistance, they can also help with that. That'd be an easy place where other people could help. But I've been trying to do some of that, but that's where I decided I really needed it split off from being VP. But I'm certainly willing to help with that too. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to even think like where we would publicize. Like I don't.
Well, Carol's great at that.
No, I agree. That's just out of my wheelhouse.
Yeah, she's the queen of that.
I'm getting better at it, thank you. But I'm trying to. I usually do like press releases and then try to get interest in the shows before I do. Like when we did the Round Rock show, I tried to do press releases and get target audiences and whatnot. And that can work. It's just usually you need a little bit of lead time to do that. But you can still do it last minute. It sometimes it's haphazard. But I found that if you do consistent publicity, like every show, if you do a press release, you get more interest in your shows over time. And then it usually ties in with like your MailChimp. So what happens is as people go to a show, you have like a guest book and you have them sign. You send them invites and things for the future. So I guess I would just see that as part of doing the shows. But maybe it's something that if somebody wants to learn that, I could certainly do part of it. And it would be something, if somebody wanted to learn how to do, that's something I could help coach or, just set it up so folks could dive into that more.
Oh, that would be great, Carol. We rely on the website mostly. People find us through searches, and Ed has got their big buttons, join and things like that. But we don't have anybody that does Twitter. We used to have a lot more Instagram, but I think we still get the pictures posted on Instagram.
Yeah, they post all the time.
And but those were the kind of channels. The one other thing would be there are some public calendars, like for KUT public calendars where you can submit. And if we're fortunate in the sense we've been so good about a reliable schedule, third Thursday, we could do more with that. I'll help with that too. Just we need to have a consistent approach to it.
Carol, I think it's a great idea. I don't know how to implement it right now. we can figure that out though. But I think it's a wonderful idea.
Certainly, with the big show that we're going to do, that need publicity or should deserve publicity.
Well, doesn't the Round Rock Arts Gallery, doesn't the Arts Council do all of its publicity and listing its shows? And so I would rely heavily on what they post.
My experience has been when you work with these folks, a lot of times you have to approach them and say, what publicity are you doing? and then go hit them and say, this is the publicity I usually do. And my experience has been sometimes there's overlap, sometimes there's not, sometimes they don't want you to do publicity, sometimes they're like, yeah, do it. Sometimes it's you work together and do it together. Every place is a little bit different. But, you know, I think it's always, it never hurts to approach them and say, look, we're, you know, Round Rock especially, go to them and say, we want to do publicity for a show. Here's what we were thinking, and see what they say, right? And I know from Round Rock, they pretty much will work with you. Some places will not; they want to do it all, and other places want you to do it all. It just depends on the venue.
Yeah, Carol, that's something that we'll talk more about. But that's a wonderful idea. Wonderful idea.
I wanted to say to Stephen, good boy, good boy.
Good.
Yeah, what's up, Lazo?
The publicity is a very hard job, I have to tell you.
Yeah.
But this is a rewarding job, because if the show is running and then the people show up and you invited, that is the reward. But the show organizers, many times, they just reach out their own smaller group of community. And then even when I had to publicize my own show, I had to make a complete description, the pictures and everything. I had to give it to them. And then they just put it together in a newsletter, or even I format it, and then they just upload it over there. But the real thing is to do it, to reach out several organizations, art galleries, and then art festivals and festival organizers. And then that is a very nice and then rewarding job. So,
yeah. Well, and I think that's also, you know, kind of piggybacking on that, that's also why we're trying to do, I mean, we would like to do events around those gallery shows openings, right? If we can also do an event, right? Do a photo walk and invite your friends, and then we all, you know, end up back at the place, and so we get a big presence, you know, at the opening, or, you know, whatever. And so yes, I mean, we've done a little bit in that sense of trying to get people there, but also where we've had shows are also pretty high traffic. They're not in specific galleries; they're in places that get a lot of traffic anyway. Yeah, we'll have to figure out the shape of, as we expand the shows. We'll need to expand our thinking on that as well. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, good, cool. That's a great question. Who else has questions right now?
No.
Mark?
Oh.
How about Mark? I wanted to ask if you have judges for.
Not yet. We haven't sent out the call. I'll actually go ahead and do that tomorrow. I'll send out an email to all the members. Mary usually does it, but I'll just get on it a little bit earlier.
Okay.
And we've been having good luck with volunteers. So anybody that hasn't done it before that wants to take a shot at it, please do. It's like we said before, it's a rewarding experience. And the time commitment has definitely gotten a little easier with the way we're, you know, splitting up the pictures among the judges. So, but we've been very happy with all our volunteer judges in the last many months. So, anybody else wants to do that, please jump in.
So Carol was asking about judges training as part of a program. You know, Mark and I were just talking today about working on something along those lines with maybe getting a speaker from PSA to kind of just go into more detail about how to judge a photo, all that. Yeah, I think if people had more confidence, there'd be more people volunteering to do it. Although that being said, we've had quite a few. I'd be curious to know how many people have volunteered to be a judge this year. I bet it's 20% of the club is judged. Maybe not 20%, but 16 people out of 80. Yeah, that's 20%, right?
Yeah.
I'll add that to the statistics.
There you go, Ed. Get him. Get him. That's great.
And I wanted to ask, we had a question about all of our 2020 officers are standing again for election, but except for Michelle, who's been our treasurer, and Stephen Burkich has said that he'd be interested. Yay. Stephen, you want to tell us why you chose treasurer, other than the fact that we broke your arm?
It's where the money is.
I do it every day. That's my daytime job.
Only the treasurer gets to embezzle. Come on.
Yeah. Remember Enron and
it's really just it's checkbook accounting. As far as what Michelle, I think, had, and she gave us a report every couple of months on what our balance was, and then she had custody of some passwords for the bank and for PayPal. And
we were gonna hook up here, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, and
you're gonna get together. Wrong choice of words.
He's too old. He was hooked up.
Song title. Let's get together.
Yeah. No, we're good. Let's move off that topic.
That's really great, Stephen. It's a kind of an ongoing job. Not a whole lot that has to be done, but it has to be done consistently. That's really wonderful. You've even got the background to even make it more than we could analyze it even.
Ooh, I do like that one, Ronnie. Ronnie says a song title would be a great photo theme.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to pick St. Stephen. St. Stephen with a rose. In and out of the garden he goes.
Who does that song?
No stairway.
No stairway. No stairway.
I think a theme popped into my mind when we had the picture of the person walking on the pathway, and it reminded me, and this decisive moment theme also thought of maybe we could put several well-known photos out that you could copy or at least use as an inspiration for a new photo. I was trying to take the decisive moment, and the idea was to try to jump in a puddle or try to get that magic moment like the one that the Paris photo.
Maybe we could do an homage project where we put
Homage,
the photos
that's the
from
word.
history and try to recreate it or do art on it.
An homage theme.
So one of the early events, just to give you a little club history, one of our first photo walks we ever did was to Modern Rocks Gallery, which is down in the Canopy. And I don't know if y'all know, but they actually have the negatives from the Nirvana Nevermind cover shoot with the baby in the water. And so if you want a print of that, that's where you have to go. It's the Modern Rocks Gallery. But we went down to Canopy, and that was one of the places we visited on one of our first club photo walks. I was out for a little history for the other night.
We did a visit to the museum, the UT
Blanton,
Blanton Museum, and saw there when they had a photo exhibit. Boy, I wish this COVID thing would get over with. Jeez.
I know.
Yeah, I'd like to travel.
Hey, I'm having fun.
Laszlo's got a hand up.
Yeah, I would suggest for a team the film noir.
Ooh, yes.
To think about the spooky street, one light on it, and then wet floor, and then in the far end, a black-coated man in hat or something. So, whatever.
That would be good for October.
Yeah.
Next October. Yeah.
And then we could do a screening of Casablanca.
Yeah.
One thing, do you want to think about going to like Photo Fest or anything like that, like as a group? Like I know it's COVID, it's difficult, but like
absolutely,
that may be something that would really, really good. I don't know if anybody's gone before. Laszlo, maybe you can speak to the Houston Photo Fest a little. I know HCP is usually a big part of that, but also just all around Houston. And it would, one of the ideas I always said, I'm going to rent a bus and go like on with a bunch and go down there. And that if we could make something like that happen, that would be great, because I think that's really that would really be a great program. And I think you can get there and back in a day if you were to get like a small bus or something, and everybody packing in and go early in the morning and come back.
A couple of minivans, just a couple of buses.
We can get one of those little short buses,
Where is it, Carol?
It's in Houston.
Oh, that's easy.
But even if we took a group and did an East Austin or West Austin studio tour, I think would be awesome as well.
Mm-hmm. That's right. It's not necessary to be a venue in Houston. The largest venue are in Houston. That is true during the Photo Fest. But Photo Fest was in this year, so 2 years from now will be the Photo Fest.
Gotcha.
So next year in 21 in France, Paris, but 22 will be in Houston. So it's alternating every second year. And then I remember during the Photo Fest, the Houston Photographic Society set up a year-end competition winners exhibition. And then that one was in the downtown, what is the main library in the downtown Houston, and then the first entry area, the art gallery area, very nice. But the problem was the COVID. So I really don't know. I will able to find out, because I'm a member of the Pixel Silver group, which is a photographic art only group. They don't interest how you photograph, what is in your heart and mind. That is the deal. So they can be the organizers of many venues. And then I know a few people from that group who was judging at the Photo Fest, the critique review session. So, but those are pricey. I don't really suggest to go for it. I wouldn't to pay $1,000 just for several judging for a portfolio. But you can go there if you have time and spend a good time and listen. So that is another option. So if the group interested for that, I can dig in, and then I can figure out, and then we'll give you all of the information, which is the cheap part, the inexpensive part of the Photo Fest participation.
Yeah. So I think those are valid things to go and do. I'd also say there's things around here that we could do, right? The Waller Creek shows where they do the light show down like at the Waller Creek amphitheater and all that, like along the water there. I know people have entered photos in the competition, so that could be a cool one. But also, right, the West Austin studio tour, the East Austin studio tour, like it'd be great just to take a group and go and do those things. And the cost would be pretty low for that.
That's what I'm doing this year. It's combined into the Austin studio tour. So
okay. I didn't realize that. Gotcha. Gotcha.
So, but that is a very good thing because they're doing it virtual this year. And so it's really, we'll have to see what other photographers are doing and what work is doing. It's really a great thing to see.
Yep. Yeah. All those things, like let's do them all. Like honestly, like just throw it out there. Let's do it. If you get 5 people as a group, awesome. If you get 50 people as a group, awesome. Right. Because it's providing those vines that people can join in and swing in on. Right. Like, oh yeah, I'm going with my friend and we're doing the same with the club. Cool. Come on. And then it introduces us to the club, and and then that's why I kind of was saying, like, as we do more and more things, more and more people are going to be interested. If we do things the right way, take care of people, do things that are engaging, educational, provide people those opportunities, then more people are just going to want to be a part of it because it's fun.
And then I remember the Red and White Gallery in Fayetteville. That was part of the Photo Fest. So Photo Fest can expand. So that is fine. It's Fayetteville and then Columbus and then I'm almost here in Austin. So it's not a big deal to organize.
What are we gonna do?
Linked
Okay, yeah, just one sec.
exhibition here in Austin. Or maybe I will look around in Bastrop because the Bastrop Art Center is fantastic. But,
let's hear about Bastrop. Definitely Bastrop.
Just logged everything because the COVID.
Yeah, there's absolutely. I would love to go on gallery walks with people. There's a new one called the iVester Gallery that's opening in 2 days. It's got some really cool stuff I saw coming out. Any of that stuff that we want to do, like let's go do that. I think that. Yes, absolutely. Any time that we can get a group together to go look at more art, yes. And as a club, then we get to go and support the art. That karma is going to come back to us, and the art will support us. So cool.
I wanted to reach out to Dennis. Dennis, have you been participating and listening, and did you have any comments?
Yes, I've been listening to all this, and I think some very good ideas, and I like some of the new stuff they're talking about doing, and I'm so sick of COVID myself,
Yeah.
I had to go to 2 meetings, I think, and we were just getting started, and bang, and then we got slammed in the face. But
We really appreciate your participation with the competitions you've been winning.
Well,
I think that's great.
Some good competition there for sure.
So, Dennis, what'd you say you were volunteering for?
I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I'm just trying to figure out,
You were a judge, right?
I've judged. It was a very good experience. Learned a lot. And
hope you'll do it again then. That'd be wonderful.
I'll try it sometime.
Awesome. All right. I'm going to have to run here just a minute. I got to get my kids to bed. Are there any other questions that I can answer?
What's the meaning of life?
42.
42.
Now, the more interesting answer is, why is it 42? Does anybody know the answer to this?
Nope.
It's a prime.
Okay. No, it's not a prime. So 42 in the ASCII code chart for Unix, 42 was the wild card character. So in the ASCII chart, 42 was the wild card. So literally the meaning of life is anything you want it to be. And that's what 42 represents. I wrote my senior thesis on Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. What's it?
It sounded like an answer you had, but you a question that was asked of you.
Yeah, one of my favorite books of all time.
You to the curb.
Yeah, it hung.
Pick a number. That's the number.
It hung in the air, much the way a brick doesn't. All right. Any other questions for me? Otherwise, I gotta get my kids to bed. We good?
Okay. Good night.
Josh,
Cool.
thank you.
Yeah,
Awesome.
It was a good meeting.
Thanks, Josh.
I like the ideas exchanged.
And
Thanks for everybody.
And let me just add one more thing. Y'all go out and shoot. Have fun with your camera. Let your camera be your therapy in these crazy times. And if y'all need anything from me, if there's any way I can help, either with gear or with counseling or whatever you need, I'm here for all of y'all. Y'all have my cell phone. Give me a call. Give me a text. I'm always available to chat with y'all. So love you guys. And I do not have a Ferrari. All right. Peace out. Love y'all.
All right.
Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.
All
Thanks,
right,
Ed.
guys.
Thank you, Ed.
We are leaving too. Okay. Good night. Thank you.
Bye, Laszlo. Glad
Bye.
you remember.
Bye.
Thanks
Thank
for being
you very much.
coming.
Okay.
Everyone.
Good night.
Good night.